I think the other thing off this, which is to me really worrying, is that the effect of Basel III and particularly of the way the regulation is being deployed in the US and the EU means that a hell of a lot more financial risk, which we as corporates are not, it's not our core business. We're here to make things. We're not here to, if you like, play the markets. But a hell of a lot more financial risk is going to be dumped on the corporate community. That is going to raise the risk of your business. It's going to therefore depress your valuations because investors are going to look for more returns from your business to compensate for that risk. Now, I've had the word from the management here. I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to open it up for questions because I've left, hopefully, a number of loose ends. Or not. Or not. Or I'll stop anyway.
We might be able to take one or two questions, but we're running a little behind. And as I say, you're wonderful accountants for counting millions, but try and count a few minutes. 17. That's 7 more than 10. Please, please. Tremendous information there. And we can take one or two questions if we have any questions from the audience. I see a gentleman down here and a microphone will be with you in just a minute. So if I can perhaps have two, and then James, we'll put him on the spot during coffee break and he'll be more than happy to respond to any questions. So bear with us. There is a few questions, James.
Okay. Right, shout out.
It's a very nice presentation you just gave. I just have a question, because I work for a treasury as well. Shouldn't we have a sort of a Treasury Committee that's much beyond the CFO level, that sort of knows what market is all about and what are the trends, so that we are in a position to get, sort of look up to them and get the approvals, rather than just two people sitting down and making decisions for the company. Because there's a huge problem here, especially in Pakistan, whereby of course it's just like a third world country where a lot of problems are here, but the decision making is a big threat. In fact, we feel it is a big threat to us as well, those people who are working in the field. So I'd just like your input on that.
Sure. I mean, to be honest, and this sort of echoes a question that Etna had earlier, at the end of the day, the CFO is in command, of finance and sits on the board. So, using the English terminology, financial director, the CFO is there to direct, and the treasurer should appreciate that. Equally, the CFO and the board need to delegate clearly and, I have to say appropriately, but you know what I mean. They absolutely have to be clear what Treasury can do without further reference. And some people give their treasurers really quite a wide brief, and others, I've worked in companies, for instance, where, if you wanted to, let's say you wanted to buy an option, I had to get board sign-off to buy an option. Whereas, it's well within the overall hedging strategy of the company. Everything's screaming out that you should enter into that transaction, for levels are absolutely just there and ready for you. And by the time you can get an email around the board and everything's gone back, the moment has passed. So there's a balance there, and it's up to the CFO. It's basically the CFO, the board, and the treasurer have got to sit down and make sure they understand absolutely where responsibility lies and what the impact of that is on the overall risk management profile of the company.
We have time for one more question, perhaps. Anybody? One more. Gentleman down there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can you suggest some of the tools to use for risk management besides NPV, of course?
Oh, how
in
long have you
seconds.
got? I've got 30 seconds.
I guess
I can do it in 5
that...
seconds, which is lots. See me afterwards. Basically, the classics in Treasury are sensitivity analysis, scenario analysis. You can do stress testing and reverse stress testing. Reverse stress testing be, okay, let's pretend the company is broke, what would get us there, as opposed to what is the effect of a particular stress in the markets. Value at risk can be used, can be really powerful, but very few people understand it. And in some respects, it's quite difficult to use in a non-financial environment, because when you've got non-financial assets, then they don't lend themselves very well to a value at risk approach. But it can be fantastically useful. Grab me afterwards and I'll tie you down for the next 2 hours.
Thank you very much. I'd like to invite Naeem Sheikh to please join me on the stage, council member with ICAP, Mr. Naeem Sheikh. And for James Lockyer. Thank you so much, James. Well done. And he will just present you with a memento. Thank you very much for that. And James said it there, he will be available during the coffee break, and we'll keep him hopefully throughout the day to give us more information. We're getting ready to go to break. I'm sure you're very, very happy to hear that. Exactly what their perspective is, what we can do for them, but more importantly, what they can do for us. So once again, a big thank you to James Lockyer. Thank you so much, James. And we are running just a few minutes behind, but you'll still have a half an hour coffee break. Please take the time to network with all of your colleagues, meet some new friends, maybe meet some new business acquaintances. That's probably more important. And be back here, please, at 10:45, where we'll have an in-depth session talking to the bankers in terms of partnership and collaboration and exactly what they can do to help us. Thank you all so much. We'll see you in half an hour. 11:15, where am I going? Now I'm missing the time. You see, it's all the accountants confusing the times and the numbers. So thank you, keeping me. 11:15, we'll have you back here. Please forgive me. So you will have some time. Please enjoy our coffee break. And once again, a big thanks to all of our sponsors who've helped us to put this session together. Thank you.